2026 is going to be the biggest year DC has seen in decades. I've been in this city for 20 years, so you can trust me on this. We're talking about $3.7 billion stadium project, huge waterfront developments, and enough new places to totally change the market. Today, I'm sharing everything you need to know that's coming to DC in 2026. So don't miss it, or you could lose out on some really big investment chances. Okay, so let me start with something that is already happening right now, the RFK Campus transformation. The fields at RFK aren't drawings on paper. They're open and showing that this vision really works. The vibe is totally different from what you'd expect at an old stadium site. Phase 1 opened in June 2019 with 3 lighted turf fields, picnic areas, a playground, and a 6,000 square foot pavilion. This space is hosting festivals, community events, and year-round activities. But here's what makes this different from usual community recreation. The Commanders have promised to keep the fields at RFK open while the new stadium is being built. And I'm talking about that next, so stick around. Now, the Sportsplex is where it gets really exciting. The DC Council set aside $89 million in the fiscal year 2026 budget for this indoor facility. We're talking gymnastics, indoor track, and competitive sports that DC athletes currently have to drive to Maryland or Virginia to do. Once the Sportsplex opens, DC residents will have indoor athletic facilities right in the city. The district is using places like Spooky Nook in Pennsylvania as blueprint for what to build. The fields at RFK and all the campus amenities are transforming this area from just a stadium site into a community-focused recreation and cultural hub with activity all year round. That means steady foot traffic, ongoing energy, and a neighborhood vibe that boosts property values well before the stadium even opens. But now, let me talk about the massive stadium. So imagine having an awesome entertainment spot right in your backyard where you could walk to see Taylor Swift one weekend and the Super Bowl the next. That's exactly what's happening at the RFK campus. And it's not your average sports venue deal. When I first heard about this project, I thought it was just another dream that wouldn't happen. Then I looked at the numbers. The new Commander Stadium is a $3.7 billion project that's going to totally change 180 acres and the whole vibe of East DC. The Commanders are putting in $2.7 billion of their own money, which makes this the biggest private investment in DC history. And the district is adding $1 billion for infrastructure, utilities, parking, and transit improvements. But here's what most people don't get. This isn't just a stadium that only gets used 8 times a year and sits empty the rest of the time. We're talking about 65,000 seat stadium with a translucent roof that's designed for events all year round. Think NFL games, giant concerts, FIFA matches, even WrestleMania. This place is meant to stay busy 300 days a year. Crazy, right? Stick around because I'll break down what this means for the housing market and for you as a potential investor in just a bit. Now, the stadium is the anchor, but it's not the whole story. The plan also includes parking garages, luxury hotels, fancy shops, parks, and even an indoor track and sports complex. And when I say luxury, I mean the kind of stuff that pulls in old money families and diplomatic crowd that make up DC's top tier. Construction starts in 2026 and the opening is expected around 2030. Smart investors know that biggest gains usually happen before the ribbon cutting, not after. This project is set to push demand all through Hill East districts, especially Kingman Park and the riverfront. So when this much money goes into creating a brand new entertainment and hospitality hub, property values in the neighborhoods around it don't just go up a little, they totally change. The RFK Campus project even has firm deadlines for groundbreaking and completion. So this isn't some maybe someday idea. It's locked in, funded, and on the way. Now, what if I told you that there's a 67-acre waterfront spot that's been sitting almost empty for decades, and it's about to turn into one of the most popular addresses in the whole city? Welcome to Reservation 13, also called the Hill East Waterfront Phase 2. While everyone's focused on the stadium, this project is flying under the radar, and that's exactly what the opportunity is. Right now, they're doing the not so glamorous but super important stuff. The engineering team is moving a huge 72-inch sewer line that runs from Mass Ave to Independence Ave. Road designs are being reviewed too. It's not exciting to look at, but it's the groundwork that makes the big stuff possible. Here's the timeline. Bundle 1 parcels, that's parcels A, B1, B2, F2, and G2, already have zoning approvals and design work done. Bundle 2 parcels C, E, and H got delayed because of the utility relocation, but now they're expected to break ground in 2026. The plan has mixed-use housing with market-rate luxury units, plus commercial spaces built to give the area a walkable neighborhood vibe. And there's even a Marriott hotel and street-level shops in the works. But again, I'll dig into that bigger market impact in just a bit, so hang with me. Now, the key point is that this 67-acre waterfront site is shifting from decades of being underused to becoming a top community starting in 2026. The project also includes a central park with an RFK memorial and a playground named for Relisha Rudd, honoring her memory. And for the first time, there'll be an expanded public access to the Anacostia River waterfront, which has been closed off to most residents for generations. When you open up waterfront access in a city like DC, property values don't just rise, they jump. The Hill East Waterfront is the kind of transit-oriented project that draws in young professionals and families who want luxury living with city convenience. So this is your chance to move in before the waterfront premium takes off. But there is one project happening right now that most people don't even know about, and it's going to completely change how East and West DC connect. The 11th Street Bridge Park is turning an old freeway bridge over the Anacostia into an elevated park and community space. What makes this special isn't just the cool design, it's the $104 million in community investment happening right alongside the park. The founding director has been pushing this for over 12 years, and now the project is 100% funded. The final $15 million came from the Federal Land and Water Conservation Fund, closing the gap. The timeline is locked in. Final permits are being processed, and groundbreaking happens soon after. Here's where it gets different from normal infrastructure projects. The park will have an environmental education center, a 1,000-seat outdoor amphitheater, a kayaking and canoe launch, and pollinator gardens on the historic Anacostia side. Plus, the National Park Service is transferring 4 to 5 acres on the east side to the city just for this project. When federal agencies start handing over prime land for community use, you know something big is happening. The park is set to open in 2028, and the nonprofit will run it forever while the city owns the land. That means long-term programming and events, not just the ribbon cutting that everyone forgets about. Here's why you should care about this. The 11th Street Bridge Park creates a direct connection between the established West Side neighborhoods and the fast-growing East Side communities we've covered. Their programs have already helped 182 Ward 8 renters become homeowners, building real intergenerational wealth. When you combine this with the RFK Campus upgrades and the Hill East Waterfront development, you're looking at a full revitalization of DC's Eastern Corridor. The bridge will open in 2028, right in the middle of all of these timelines, making it the backbone that ties the investments together. But now let me break down what all this means for the bigger market impact, because this is something you'll definitely want to pay close attention to in 2026. The combined Hill East and RFK campus developments are expected to add 5,000 to 6,000 new housing units. In most cities, that much new supply would worry investors. But DC isn't like most cities. We've had years of tight inventory, pushing prices up, and buyers are getting more selective. This new supply will ease inventory shortages while being close to premium amenities, keeping prices strong. This isn't flooding the market, it's adding the right supply in the right place. Analysts expect a small home price correction at first as the new units hit the market. But long-term, surrounding property values are set to rise a lot as the area becomes a major hub for jobs, entertainment, and residential life. Over $20 billion in economic growth is projected from these combined projects. That includes new jobs, public space investments, and the kind of tax-based growth that funds ongoing neighborhood improvements. The RFK project also has policy safeguards that stop double subsidies on leased land and enforce development deadlines with penalties for delays. This makes sure community benefits actually get delivered on time, not something in the future. And here's what this means for you as an investor. The neighborhoods around these projects, especially Cameron Park and the Hill East Corridor, are set for steady appreciation as the projects roll out over the next 4 years. But smart investors know the biggest gains happen during the transition period, before everything is built and obvious to everyone else. The smart investors aren't waiting for the ribbon cutting or grand openings. They're moving now, while these big projects are still on the blueprint and before the wider market notices. So act now, because 2026 is shaping up to be a huge year for DC. And if you're serious about getting ahead of DC's biggest transformation, don't wait until everyone else catches on. Email me at hello@coalitionpg.com today, and let's talk about your goals and plans for 2026. The housing market moves fast, and the best opportunities don't last. But don't go yet. I've got another video linked right here where I go through all the DC neighborhoods that are skyrocketing in value, while some climbing 24% in just 1 year. I break down which suburbs are booming, why it's happening, and which ones fit your lifestyle. You can't miss this if you're DC house hunting. Trust me. I'll see you there.